Packers and these safeties pinched so hard on this incorrect read, Breece Hall was just running right between this guy and this guy for a wide open touchdown.
So a lot of fun breaking that one down, Jeff. Always enjoy the whiteboard segment. We got another one coming up. He's going to break down the Hawkeyes. Yes, I know they're on a bye week, and we're going to have to relive Purdue. Hawkeye fans, you might want to avert your eyes when we come back. Welcome back up to Ames, Iowa. Iowa State fans getting ready for the Oklahoma State game today. Iowa fans trying to just move on from Purdue. While Jeff Woody's not letting you do that quite yet, we're going to take a look at the defense.
Welcome back to the whiteboard. We're going to talk a little bit about the Iowa-Purdue game, which some fans might not want to revisit too much. But the story wasn't so much that the Iowa offense was bad. We've known that coming in. They were questionable at times. Their defense has just been so stellar that they could make up for that bad offense. The story against Purdue was, why was their defense so exploited? That doesn't make sense that a team that's that good can become that bad. Well, what Purdue did against that, they knew the recipe. They had 3 steps. Step number 1, identify what the opposing defense is doing. If I know that you're running a cover 3, there's a specific thing that's going to beat that defense, because every defense, no matter what, has a flaw. If you have time to get it, you're going to be able to exploit that flaw. Well, step 2 then is know what weakness that defense is running. Let's take steps 1 and steps 2 for Purdue to see what they did. Iowa comes out and they're running a pretty unfamiliar set to them. They generally like to play more of a zone, and if they're going to challenge you, they might play man with a couple guys. This is a almost full man across the board. This is 2 man underneath. It is a telegraphed, not hidden, not disguised. Iowa doesn't do disguises. They show you what they're going to do, and then they say, all right, beat us. This linebacker stack situation makes no sense unless you are playing man coverage. So Purdue knows right out of the gate that this guy's here and this guy's here. There's no other reason that they would be lined up the way they are. So step 1, we know they're running 2 man under. Step 2, the weaknesses of 2 man under are middle of the field, because these guys are going to cover each side this way, corner and corner for the space on the field. The second weakness against 2 man under is matchups. So if you have a good matchup in one of those spaces, you're going to go to it. They have a man coverage with their 6'6", 6'7" tight end against a linebacker safety hybrid position that's about 6 foot tall. Regardless of what he's doing, that's my matchup that I want to go to. So I know what they're doing. I know where the weakness is. Now the third one is the one that Iowa has exploited and not let anybody do, which is you got to have the patience to actually get to that point. Iowa has rushed everybody's decision making, and as soon as they put some pressure on you, most other teams start to crack. They start to make bad decisions, they start to bail. In most situations, this defensive end is going to get up the field and get a really good pass rush on Purdue. But he doesn't bail. He says, I'm going to stand here and make sure that I get the ball delivered to my opportunity, and if I don't do that, I'm going to get a helmet to the tooth. But that's what matters, is getting the ball out. So this defensive end gets up the field. The Purdue quarterback, instead of bailing like every other quarterback has done this year to Iowa, he gets his shoulders back square and says, I need to throw the ball because this is where the weakness is. He delivers a ball right down the middle in his best matchup to the best availability against two-man under. Well, pass interference. It's a 3rd and 15. They get a pass interference because he knows either my guy's going to catch it or there's no way he covers it and it's going to be a pass interference. This play is completely made because Purdue doesn't flinch. They said, all right, Iowa, I see what you're going to do. I don't think you can stop it.
And of course, Kansas State didn't stop it. Breece Hall made that house call. A lot of fun watching that. And again, thank you to Jeff for kind of educating all of us. I don't see it the way he sees it. That's certainly true. All right, when we come back, we're breaking down the Iowa State Cyclones, what they have to do right against Okie State today, plus what we learned last week, and a couple of players to really spotlight across the Big 12. Alrighty, a beautiful sunny day here in Ames. Jeff back with me, and we're going to talk a little bit about Brock Purdy. Here's what he had to say. He had to look back on a crucial moment in his career, all the way back to this Oklahoma State game in 2018, especially after that Iowa loss, to kind of re-find himself. Here's what he said earlier this week.
I just feel like after that game, I don't know, I just wasn't myself in terms of a football player, as a quarterback and everything in that game. And so I just went back and watched, some games from my career and reminded myself, like, hey, this is who I am and what I can do, for this team. When I went into that first game, it wasn't a whole lot of thinking. It just, hey, these are the plays, I'm going to run them, and I'm going to hit the open guy, that kind of stuff. I just kept it simple. And so I do take, a lot out of that just watching the game, like, hey, simplicity is actually good, As a quarterback, sometimes we can overthink some stuff. So when I go back and watch that game, I was like, man, I just went out there, had some passion and love for the game, wanted to help my team win, whatever it took, and that's how I played, free and played like myself. So that's really what I take away when I go back and watch that game.
I think we're always chasing mastery. I don't think that's ever a finality. I think that's a constant chase, and I think what you're seeing is veteranness. I think you're seeing poise. There's just so much to that at the quarterback position, but I think Brock is continuing to grow and evolve, and just been really proud of his efficiency, and I think the word you used there is really good. He's been really efficient.
That's certainly true, and the K-State game is a perfect example of that. Let's talk a little bit about the Cyclones and coming into this Oklahoma State with a flashback to that Kansas State game, because Brock Purdy was extremely efficient, found his quarterbacks, and looked like the Brock Purdy you expected his senior year.
Yeah, this is the team that we expected to see. Iowa State is a dominant run-first, distribute-the-ball type team. And if Breece Hall is as effective as he was, 75 yards right out of the gate. We talked about it earlier in the show. And when you can establish it that way, then Brock can be comfortable. He's able to deliver a great ball to Jon Schaeffer for a touchdown. He's able to find Charlie on a 3rd and 7. He's able to deliver the ball comfortably to a young guy, Jalen Knoll. He's able to just sit there and know, I don't have to do all this. I'm just going to go out and have some fun. Do a little dance on the sideline. You can actually enjoy playing the game. And Brock is at his best when he's relaxed, comfortable, and not feeling like he has to do everything. So the team that we saw against Kansas State is a team we thought we were going to see all year.
And it's a team we have to continue to see if they want any hope of getting to that Big 12 championship game. And a guy that's going to help them on defense is ISHEEM Young. I mean, he's been a stellar safety, sophomore. We saw what he could do his freshman year, but now watching him grow into that body a little bit more, he's a scary safety.
He is. He's physical. That's the first word that comes to mind when I think of ISHEEM Young. He's in the right spot. He knows what he's doing, and he's really comfortable being a linebacker level and going up and hitting a running back, or he's playing deep and trying to separate a receiver from the ball, or just playing defense anywhere. I mean, he is a comfortable player at any level. He reminds me, and sorry Hawkeye fans, he reminds me of a little bit of Bob Sanders. In young, smaller guy. He's younger than Bob Sanders, probably not as at the high ceiling, but physical. He's a small guy that's going to try and separate your shoulder from your body. And if you can hold on to the ball when that happens, great. But if not, he wins.
And let's see if ISHEEM Young can have the type of career that Bob Sanders does long-term as well. That'd be exciting to see. But then we've got to talk about the rest of the Big 12, because it's still anyone's game. Oklahoma sits there atop, and they've got a quarterback controversy still rolling with their new quarterback, Williams, a freshman.
Yeah, Caleb Williams. So this is the story in the Big 12, is that Caleb Williams is absolutely dominant so far through 6 quarters. Now, it's not to say that he's not good, but that is to say that defensive coaches, they can learn. So if you have 6 quarters on film, I don't know as a coach what you do or don't like. As a defensive player, I can't put you in positions that make you uncomfortable because I don't know what makes you feel uncomfortable. But after about 2.5, 3 games, that's usually when coordinators can kind of get a sense for what's happening. So he probably is going to tear up whoever they play today. He might tear up whoever they play next week. But once you get a certain amount of film, that's when the rubber really meets the road. So Caleb Williams is a really good player. But let's not throw everything on and say he's going to be the next Baker Mayfield. He's good, but he's got a little bit to do once the defenses catch up with what he actually likes.
6 quarters of play, and somehow Heisman talk is already surrounding the kid. We'll see what happens as the rest of the season progresses. A lot of year left, and still to come. We've got 3 keys for the victory for Iowa State, plus our big man on campus. Alrighty, Jeff, that sun's starting to warm things up a little bit for us, starting to get comfortable out here for homecoming day. What do the Iowa State Cyclones have to do? Give me your 3 keys for the win today.
Well, the first thing is keep calm and execute. We talked about it in the the Iowa segment, that every defense has a weakness if you're calm enough to do it. Oklahoma State likes to bring pressure. They like to play man. They like to make your decision-making really fast, really difficult. Keep calm. Just execute what you know what to do, and you dictate the tempo then. Secondly, take advantage of your chances. Oklahoma State has turned over the ball a lot in the past couple years. They're going to give you a chance. The ball's going to be on the ground. When the ball gets on the ground, take advantage. Get that turnover. And the last one is special teams. If special teams is never mentioned in a broadcast, it is a terrific job on special teams because nothing happens. The only goal of Iowa State special teams is to give the ball from the offense to the defense or the defense to the offense and nothing more. Kick field goals, make those. Don't miss anything, don't get anything blocked. Maybe make a play here or there, but your goal on a punt, kickoff, whatever, is get the ball from one side to the other. If that happens, Iowa State's going to be okay.
And then for our big man on campus, I went with Brock Purdy today. I think as efficient as he's been, he's number 3 in the nation in completion percentage in NCAA. So he's got to maintain that and really be smart with the ball today.
He's got 9 touchdowns and 1 interception since the second half of since the Iowa game. So good stats for Brock Purdy.
And so we'll see how it all shakes out today. When we come back, we'll wrap things up. Plus, I'll give you my pick 5, and we'll relive one of the greatest moments to ever happen here at Jack Trice Stadium. Alrighty, welcome back. Oklahoma State, Iowa State. This has some great games in the past. Maybe none greater, though, than this guy right here running in a double overtime touchdown against Okie State, then number 2 on a Friday night here at Jack Trice Stadium in late November. Coming up on the 10-year anniversary this year, believe it or not.
How is it a decade? That's incredible. How is it a decade?
Aged a lick.
I've lost a substantial amount of hair since the game.
What do you remember about that? I mean, we'll pull up those first 2 big runs that you had leading up to it. What do you remember about Coach Rhodes telling you as you stepped onto the field for that?
Well, Coach Rhodes, he's too busy kind of managing the rest of the game. How I actually got on the field, so Jake Knock tips that ball, which is an incredible play, which I could talk for an hour on just that part. But Jake Knock tips the ball, Taryn Benton gets the interception, and I am celebrating just like everybody else in the stadium. Well, Iowa State's offense on that time, our sideline was on the other side of the field, and I was celebrating, just hanging out with my friends on the far 20-yard line. And Bill Blyle and Coach Pope, the offensive line coach, the running backs coach, they were running because Coach Herman said, I want Woody in the game because of ball security. So they were running to find me I almost missed that opportunity because I was too busy celebrating what happened. So they grab me, they run me down over, and Coach Pope grabs my face mask and said, keep 2 hands on the ball the whole time. So that's the only interaction I got before, and then get a pat on the butt and go run.
And then obviously the first big run. Second big run, I remember specifically you spinning out of tackles, just ball security, and then of course the touchdown game winner. What do you remember about that final play and what ensued?
Well, at that point, after the second run, you could tell that the Oklahoma State defense knew basically the game was over. There was a lot of fight that had left them after that second down run, so really that wasn't that challenging. It was really make sure that you set the linebacker to the position you want him to, get him in front of a guard, and let that guard take care of the linebacker, and then just dive in the end zone. And then after that, it becomes pretty gray because it was pretty terrifying to have 50,000 people all want to touch you at the same time. So a little bit frightening once you get in the end zone.
Probably one of the greatest moments of your career?
I would say one of the greatest moments of my career, yeah.
That's awesome. Alrighty, well, we got to get to our pick 5. I went 2 and 3 last week. We're going to fly through these. I'm still in negative territory. We're going to get back in the black.
Don't take his betting advice.
Don't take my betting advice if you don't want to. All right, Wake Forest at Army. Give me the over 52.5. These two teams like to put up points.
They do like to put up points, but I don't think Army's going to have enough possessions for both teams to get over that.
Alrighty, Syracuse at Virginia Tech. Syracuse on the money line is my play there. I'd like the ACC today.
Just randomly, if you ever have the chance, go to watch a Virginia Tech game. It's a crazy introduction. Go do it.
Boilermakers, I think, get the win at home against Wisconsin. You think letdown?
I think it's a letdown game. Big game last week against Iowa. Give me the Boilermakers.
Alrighty, then I got BYU covering -4 over Wazoo, but we're going to talk Iowa State. Take the over. Don't touch the spread. Take the over 47.
Well, hope the Cyclones win, but should be a good game.
Alrighty, have a great day. Enjoy homecoming.